Welcome back to This Is Not CBC.
All right, folks, let's talk about Elizabeth May, the one-person Green Party miracle, apparently capable of holding the balance of power over Canada's 2025 budget. Yeah, you heard that right. One person, one MP, one Green Party seat. And somehow, we're supposed to believe this Lone Ranger is deciding the fate of our country. Now, she stands in front of the cameras and says, "Against what I had previously said, I will be voting yes. It's for my country, for the future of my grandchildren." Oh, really? For your grandchildren? Or for the political theater that keeps you in Ottawa without rocking the boat? And let's not forget, she's claiming the Greens may hold the balance of power to avoid an election. Right? Because heaven forbid Canadians actually get a say while a government pushes through a budget that's been exposed for being a disaster. I mean, how the hell can a one-person party with a drunk MP elsewhere somehow hold the balance of power? This country is a joke. Absolutely a joke. Everything about this budget is out in the open now. The costs, the lies, the economic nonsense. And what do we get from MPs? Worry about their own jobs instead of the people who elected them. Shame on you, Elizabeth May. Shame on anyone thinking this is leadership. And mark my words, there will be another election. And those who vote yes for this awful, catastrophic budget for Canadians, they will not get another chance. Not a single one. But for now, watch the clip. See Elizabeth May tell the country she's putting politics and survival above her promises. And remember exactly what this is: betrayal disguised as patriotism.
I couldn't vote for that budget as I read it and made it clear why I found it so very deficient. And one of the reasons was the Paris Agreement, and our commitment to it wasn't even mentioned. Our commitments to climate adaptation weren't mentioned. And I felt it weakened where we were on the nature agenda and the Carney-Montreal Agreement that wasn't mentioned. So, as you could tell, and as I've said for so often that I think I've spoken to all of you individually, I was still talking to the government, talking to people within the Prime Minister's office, talking to various ministers to see if there was some way to remedy a document in print that I couldn't support. I think we found that way today. I heard overwhelmingly from my constituents and Canadians from coast to coast that they wanted someone to stop an election happening by accident. That's a place of responsibility. And I heard my own inner voice say, we're at the very edge of it being too late for us to be sure that our own children and grandchildren alive today can live in a livable world where human civilization is sustainable. Without what I heard from the Prime Minister today, I would have voted no. I didn't like the idea of ducking and abstaining, although that was a possibility. I wasn't afraid of an election for me personally, for the Green Party. But the answer is, I heard a firm commitment to something I hadn't heard before from Mark Carney, Prime Minister, that I'd heard previously from Mark Carney, former Governor of the Bank of Canada, former Governor of the Bank of England, former Special Envoy for Climate Finance to the Secretary General of the United Nations. I heard a firm commitment we will meet our Paris targets. That requires action very soon because the first target we're going to hit is 2030 and then 2035. Legally binding treaty commitments and a commitment to do far more that we've heard in the budget with funding for the coming Montreal commitments to nature, to stop beating up on Mother Earth and start the process of CPR. So, against what I had expected to say to you today, I'm going to vote yes.